Hello and welcome everybody. So today we are on our second day of the Bill of Rights. So you have an assignment that you need to do today. So you want to go into Canvas and you want to go ahead and open that up through your modules. It's going to look something like this right here, okay? And you're going to notice these first two questions, they're already done, okay? So we're going to model those during class. Show you exactly what you need to do, and then you're going to need to do case 3, 4, and 5, okay? So that's going to be your assignment for today. So let's go ahead and go back into our presentation, and let's get started. So Bill of Rights Day 2, I'm Mr. Giblin from Apex. Let's get started. So quickly reviewing our agenda, we're going to look at court case analysis. And this is tied to the Bill of Rights, okay? Your exit ticket is to finish those court cases and then submit the assignment. We're using Standard 8.16, identify and give significant major events in the creation of the Constitution. Our objective, I can analyze court cases to determine if the event is in question is constitutional or unconstitutional. So, court case analysis, basically you guys are going to become the smallest Supreme Court in the United States as ever known, okay? You will be presented with several real-world cases, okay? These cases have already happened. And upon reading the case, you must decide what to do. As a Supreme Court justice, you can use common sense in your reasoning, but you must describe how your reasoning is in line with the Bill of Rights, okay? There's a couple things that you're trying to think about as you're reading these cases. What is the conflict? What amendment is in question? Okay, and we're looking at the first 10. Is the event constitutional or unconstitutional? So the event that you're reading about, do you feel like it's okay or do you feel like it's wrong? So our first one, okay, and I'm going to do this one for you. In Indiana, there's a small town that is populated by many Holocaust survivors. They have lived peacefully there for many years. However, recently, a neo-Nazi named Frank Collin has proposed to march through the town. He requested a permit that would allow his fellow Nazi supporters to march through the town and have a rally. The town quickly rejected his request. Mr. Collin sued, arguing that the town had violated his right to peacefully assemble. The town, however, claims that the presence of Mr. Collin's Nazis would cause emotional pain to the Holocaust survivors and would potentially result in violence. Should the town of Suki be forced to allow the Nazis to march through their town? All right, let's look at our decision. So what is the conflict? What amendment's in question? And is this constitutional or unconstitutional? So my thought process, as I was reading through that, I was thinking to myself, okay, they used the words exactly the right to peacefully protest or assemble, which is identified as a First Amendment right. So the court ruled that Mr. Collin's right to peacefully assemble was violated, his First Amendment right. Because their reason for denying the permit was based on what the Nazis were going to say, okay? The Nazis decided not to march in Suki. Instead, they marched in Chicago. So that's my thought process. That's how I figured out what amendment it was and figured out whether it's constitutional or unconstitutional. So in this case, Mr. Collins, he was doing what was constitutionally correct. You might not agree with it, but he was within his constitutional rights. Case number 2, remember what's the conflict, what amendment is it being questioned, and is it constitutional or unconstitutional? A man in Arizona is arrested for kidnapping and raping of an 18-year-old girl. He was detained and questioned for 2 hours and confessed to the crime. He was sentenced to 30 years in prison. However, he is challenging his conviction because he was not advised of his rights to remain silent and of his rights to an attorney. On the other side, the Arizona attorney argues that this decision could prevent dangerous individuals from confessing to crimes. Do you require the case to be retried without the confession, or do you let the conviction stand? So this is a famous court case known as Miranda versus Arizona. And when I'm reading it, my thought process based off of what's previously happened, because everybody is afforded their Miranda rights. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be held against you in a court of law. Those. I know that his Fifth Amendment rights were violated because he was not informed of his right to an attorney or to remain silent. Okay? So the Fifth Amendment says that you do not have to self-incriminate yourself. Okay? It protects that right. So, we have gone through our first two cases. They're already done on your assignment, so you can use them as an example or showing you what you need to do. Okay? We've done our court case analysis. Now it's time for you guys to finish that court case analysis exit ticket. So those are the last three questions. When you finish that, you want to submit the assignment. So your directions. You will be presented those three cases that pertain to the Bill of Rights. Complete cases 3 through 5 as a Supreme Court Justice. And again, you can use common sense in your reasoning, but you must describe what amendment of the Bill of Rights is in question, okay? Identify which amendment you're using for your justification. And again, those things to help you if you're trying to figure out how do I explain this. What is the conflict? What amendment's being questioned? And then underneath that, you need to figure out whether it's constitutional or unconstitutional. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is your assignment for today. So have a fantastic day. Good luck on the assignment. If you need any help, feel free to message your teachers. All right.